It's been about 2 years since I uploaded my first video on this YouTube channel, so I thought it could be sort of cool to go through what it's like on my side, especially if you're curious on starting your own YouTube channel or you just like data like me and you just want to see what some of the channel's data looks like. And I know people really like numbers and stuff, and I'm a big data guy myself, so like revenue or click-through rate, views, impressions, stuff like that. I'll go over that in just a bit. Since this video is a little bit different, I might get some new viewers from it, so if you are new, hey. But if you're not new, hey. I make college advice, career advice, tech, computer science, programming type videos. If any of that sounds interesting to any of you new viewers, or maybe you saw one of my previous videos, consider subscribing to the channel. We also do bad British accents. But now for the actual data, because everyone likes data, including myself. So here is sort of the main dashboard of YouTube analytics. This is like the main overview, and it kind of defaults to the last 28 days, the last month. So here are sort of my stats at this point with roughly 3,060 subscribers. So we can see the live count. This is actually a new feature. So my first video was in like mid-July, I think it was like July 16th or 18th or something like that. So you can see sort of the growth. And as you can see, like as I zoomed out, it looks a little bit more of exponential, but like when I zoom into the last 28 days, it'll just look more linear. Very, very slow growth, gaining maybe a subscriber every other day. And then this is when I hit like 100 subscribers. So, like April 13th, 2020. And then, gaining more subscribers, some videos are popping off a little bit. And then I hit 1,000 subscribers on mid-November 2020. If you don't know, in order to get monetized on YouTube, you have to meet some prerequisite sort of gate conditions. One of those being 1,000 subscribers and the other being 4,000 watch hours. So I actually hit the 4,000 watch hours much faster than I hit the 1,000 subscribers. So by the time I hit 1,000 subscribers, I was already at sort of like a little over 5,000 watch hours. And your channel gets reviewed, and then you can ultimately get approved for monetization, meaning that you can start putting ads on your videos and start making some ad revenue if that's, what you want to do. And around, March 2021, so, a few months ago, I got to 2,000 subscribers, and then just recently, I hit 3,000 subscribers at the beginning of July, which was a goal of mine. I wanted to hit 3,000 subscribers before my 2-year anniversary, so thank you guys for that. But to go back to the data, we can see like ultimately the views over the last 28 days. So usually I average between 500 and 1,000 views per day. And also if I switch to the subscribers tab, I usually gain around 5 to 10 subscribers per day. Again, that's not like anything insane, but I'm comfortable with that level because I still remember when I was getting 1 subscriber every couple days. So now that I get 5 to 10 every day, like that's just awesome to see that sort of growth continued. I remember recently watching a YouTube video by Graham Stephan where he goes through how much money he makes with 3 million subscribers, and his analytics are crazy. Like he makes way more money. I mean, as you can see, I make $110 per month on this channel, which is fantastic. I think that's really cool. I remember when I first got monetized, I think I made, $6 or something in the first day, or like $5, somewhere around that much, or like $8 in the first 2 days. And I was like so excited. I was like talking to my mom and I was like, oh my God, I made $8 on just making YouTube videos the first like 2 days. Like it's nothing, but it's definitely cool. It supports, my coffee and pastry addiction. So if I switch to this, we can see that, I don't really make too much per day. My channel's not huge. I don't get like a ton of views. I usually get, $2 to $5 per day. Estimated revenue changes based on the video as well. So you might have heard a term called CPM, which is basically the amount of money a advertiser is willing to pay per 1,000 views on a specific video. And the video's content or the niche that video is targeting will affect that CPM. A finance channel usually has much higher CPM because advertisers are willing to pay more for those viewers than a gaming channel. So a gaming channel might only have a CPM of $2, meaning an advertiser is only really willing to pay around $2 per 1,000 views for that specific gaming video, whereas like a finance video might have like $20 or $40 CPM, where an advertiser is willing to pay $40 for 1,000 views on that specific type of video. And it honestly varies a lot based on specific types of videos. So you can make one finance video that has a $40 CPM and then another one that only has a $20 CPM or whatever. So it really changes based on the video. So I don't actually know if I'm allowed to show the specific CPM, but there's actually another metric in here called RPM, which is actual revenue you got for that 1,000 views. So although an advertiser is willing to pay $6 for 1,000 views, you might only get $4 for 1,000 views. So it really depends on each video and the specific niche that video is targeting, what the video is actually talking about. But if we look at my overall trend, again, I got monetized in mid to late November, and since then I've made about $900. And it's actually funny, you can see this like massive spike. That was in March 2021, which is actually when I think UCSD releases their admission results. So a lot of people look up UCSD videos, and I've made several UCSD videos in the past. I don't make them too much anymore, but I made them a lot in the past. So whenever the UCSD admissions gets released, my UCSD videos get a huge boost in viewership, and you can see that here. So you can see it's like sort of a steady increase over time, you know, slowly increasing with daily views, and then this just massive spike for, you know, a couple days when UCSD admission results get released and people are curious about UCSD in general. So in the reach section, this sort of covers all of the areas in which your videos actually get discovered. So over the lifetime of my channel, I've had 3.5 million impressions. So we can check the last, 28 days. So roughly averaging anywhere between, I would say, 7 to 12,000 impressions, with an average of a 5% click-through rate. And again, we can see sort of engagement. My average view duration has slowly decreased because with releasing YouTube Shorts, since they're all under a minute, it kind of drives down the average view duration. But again, I don't really think it matters at a channel level, it matters at the video level. I don't know if I'm allowed to show you the revenue tab, and the audience tab will basically just show you the different types of viewers, when most of them are active. So I try to release my videos either Tuesdays or Wednesdays at like around 10 a.m. And then these are also other channels. This was a really cool feature that YouTube recently announced, and now I'm nerding out a lot. I'm probably rambling like crazy, but I think this data is just generally really cool. So these are other channels my audience watches. So you see Shane Hummus, you see Jed Cal. If you haven't seen any of these channels, I highly suggest you check them out. I've watched, I think, all of these. They make great content. Mayuko, Clement, Nick White, Tech with Tim, Kyle Halden, they all make great videos. I mean, I generally try to make videos along the same niche as them, so I like to see that my audience watches the same sort of content, because that's the content I'm making. So I hope YouTube shows that content to similar audiences, I guess. But yeah, that's sort of the whole YouTube analytics section. You can dive really deep into it, and I'm planning on another video about maybe doing some machine learning on these analytics, because you can export them. But that's sort of everything in terms of the data side. I hope that was interesting and not boring. I probably nerded out a ton. So just some quick things if you're looking to start your own YouTube channel that I've learned over the course of my roughly 2 years sort of doing it on this channel. First off, my beginning videos were terrible, and I feel like a lot of YouTubers share that sentiment, where your first couple YouTube videos or your first 100 YouTube videos, you don't really know what you're doing. Your equipment might be bad, you don't really know how to edit, maybe your background music is too loud, and usually you kind of just get better over time. Now, some people hit it out of the park immediately, but I definitely didn't do that. So for anyone who saw some of my beginning videos, and I privated most of those, I was using a, terrible webcam with like a $30 Amazon mic. I really had no idea how to act in front of a camera, and I really didn't even know what I wanted to make content about. I sort of had a rough idea, but I just kind of like made videos about like a random assortment of topics, like software engineering internships, about random health stuff, about Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos fighting, like super random things. So you can plan and plan and plan, but you really never know how it's gonna turn out until you to actually film, edit, and upload it. And again, you can kind of go back to other YouTubers and sort by their oldest videos, and you can just see how their content has changed overall, and they might be talking about something completely different, or maybe their production style is completely different, or their editing style, or whatever it is. You know, it's definitely kind of cool to go back and see just kind of the overall change that's happened on a channel. And even for me, it's just sort of cool to see like the development that happened since I've been uploading videos for these last 2 years, and sort of like the meta context of the background of these videos, to where like my first videos, it was the end of my junior year of college, and then, you know, I went into a software engineering internship, and then I studied abroad, and then I came back from a study abroad, and then I started working full-time, and now we're here. And it's sort of all of these this meta context that's developing through all of these videos that I don't necessarily always talk about. Now, I'm not like, you know, sometimes I mention it, but I'm not like, I'm graduating college right now, or, you know, it's this date and this happened. It's sort of just all happening sort of in the background, and it's sort of like a cool video time capsule, just, you know, personally for myself, to see going back 2 years and looking at those videos and being like, wow, that's where I was 2 years ago. So in essence, if you're thinking about starting a channel, you know, there's a lot of learning and development that happens just by consistently making videos and seeing what's actually your editing style. You know, how do you like to present yourself on camera? You know, what's your sort of talking cadence? You know, what content are you actually going to talk about? And even if you don't succeed in sort of the traditional sense, it's still cool as a time capsule at the very least. Now, in terms of growth, I grew pretty slow, and I'm still growing kind of slow, but you know, I like making these videos, and you know, I'm comfortable with the way the channel is going. Now, I grow faster than some YouTube channels, but also much slower than other YouTube channels. So if you're looking to start a channel again, you really want to try to avoid comparing yourself to other creators, because really it's just dependent on a lot of different factors. Now, some YouTubers actually hit it out of the park on their first video and get, you know, hundreds of thousands of views, thousands of subscribers in like the first day. Like Michael Reeves, like he makes amazing content and he blew up like immediately, you know, rightfully so. But my content was nothing like that, and really, really terrible. So looking back, I shouldn't have expected really any type of growth, because my content was pretty bad, if any of you have seen it. So another big tip, ultimately, is that YouTube is definitely a marathon and not a sprint. It literally took me like 9 months to get to 100 subscribers. It then took me only about 7 months to get to 1,000 subscribers, and then about 4 months to get to 2,000 subscribers, and then about 3.5 to 4 months to get to 3,000 subscribers. So the rate at which you're gaining subscribers increases, so it's, in the grand scheme of things, if you like zoom out a lot, it's like sort of an exponential growth, but like if you zoom in really close, it looks more linear if you're looking like month to month. Another tip, if you're looking to start a YouTube channel, is that you don't want to expect too much. Like, don't expect to get super popular overnight. Now, that can definitely happen, but the chance of that happening is very, very small, at least from my perspective. And, you know, you don't want to get your hopes really high. You know, make this amazing video, and it could be really amazing, but, you know, maybe it doesn't perform as well, or, you know, maybe you don't get super popular overnight. So it's good to sort of get your expectations to sort of like a realistic level. So for some creators, it's really, really fast, and they get thousands of subscribers, and it meets their expectations. And for other creators, it might be a little bit slower, but it's all, you know, part of the process. And it's ultimately more digestible to just get interested and actually like the process of creating videos. So thinking of ideas, writing scripts, filming, editing, SEO, all of that sort of stuff. It's better to enjoy doing that entire process rather than trying to, you know, get a viral hit immediately. And definitely over time, I've noticed that my editing style and my presentation style and the way I script videos has definitely improved, or at least I hope it's improved. And that usually just comes with doing it over and over and over again, seeing what works, seeing, maybe what people complain about or what people suggest I do, or just kind of critiquing my own videos. And obviously I still have a ton to learn. Like, I'm really not that good at video editing. I don't know too much, but I slowly get a little bit more confident. But this is where you guys could come in if you have any suggestions for other things I should do or cut out, or just video topics in general. Please comment them down below. I'm always open to suggestions. Also, I want to take a quick break and thank each and every one of you, whether you stuck with me since I've had a terrible webcam or you just subscribed. I hope I could give you guys some useful and potentially entertaining advice occasionally, and bad British accents. But honestly, without your guys' support and interest, this whole process would be totally different, and I don't even know if I'd still be making YouTube videos. So thank you guys so much for getting me to this point, and I'm excited for what the future holds. But that's sort of it. I just wanted to make a quick video about YouTube, my experience with it, especially if you're interested in creating a channel, sort of expectations you can have with that, a glimpse into YouTube analytics, because I love data, you might love data. I think it's really interesting to see different, YouTuber dashboards. I remember, again, I saw Graham Stephan's and I was like, oh, geez, dude, this guy's breaking the algorithm. It's like amazing. But I hope you guys found it, interesting at the very least. I try to keep a pretty open community, and I try to respond to most comments. So if you have any suggestions just for future videos you might want to see, please comment them down below. Thank you all for watching and the continued support. If any of you are looking for techie, nerdy, but minimalist and cool and fly clothes, consider checking out some of the clothes I've been designing over at nullref.co. My name is Michael. We do bad British accents at the end of every video. Consider checking out one of my past videos, and my past self would thank you dearly, and check out one of my future videos. My future self would also thank you dearly. We make college advice, career advice, tech, computer science, programming videos on this channel. If any of that sounds interesting, consider subscribing to the channel. That's all from me. Thank you all again for all of your support. I'm looking forward to other types of videos and, where the channel's really going to go. It's just an exciting experience. So if you have any suggestions, questions, comment them down below. But that's all from me. Hopefully I see you in another one. Bye-bye.